Oh yeah, prison is run by racial politics and gang politics for sure. And it wasn't until I got to the other prison, the lower level, when I remember my first time putting on a yarmulke, right? And I'm like, okay, this is gonna cause a stir. Say you present as white, you have to run with the white card that is ran by the Nazis, right? The skinheads, right? Me, since I'm black, I didn't have racial, people didn't even understand what it meant to be a Jew. Like, oh yeah, the real, Jews are black and this and that. So they didn't care. They didn't give me any pressure, right? And I'm looking at it. And so I didn't have the pressure as that, but they still thought, as I got more into it, like, oh, you're trying to be white, or you're trying to be this, or you're trying to be that. So I got a lot of pushback. And they also told me when I got out of prison, they wouldn't accept me, right? That's the sort of pushback I got. It wasn't like, it was casual anti-Semitism as opposed to, we're trying to get you because you're identifying as Jewish.
Is there a stigma of being dark-skinned or African? Does it come from the past life or needs tikkun for certain sins? Absolutely not. There's many righteous people that are dark-skinned, light-skinned, and there's plenty of wicked people that are dark-skinned and light-skinned. In Judaism, we don't care about your skin color. We care about how your neshama looks like. If your neshama is a pure neshama, you're a modest person, a righteous person, an honest person, a person that's following the Torah, that's as good as it gets. That's as good as it gets. As far as what your skin complexion is, it's irrelevant. Jews look like everything. Jews, the Zohar KADOSH says that the Jewish people are the only people that get affected by the air of where they live, unlike everyone else. For example, if you take a bunch of Chinese people from China and you put them in America for 3 generations, 4 generations, 5 generations, they're still always going to look Chinese. They're never going to look American. They're always going to look Chinese. If you took a bunch of people from Sweden and you put them in Africa, 3, 4, 5, 6 generations, they're always going to be looking like that, unless they intermarry. But Jews, on the other hand, you put us in Morocco, over a few generations, we start looking like the Moroccans. You put us in China, over a few generations, we start looking like the Chinese. You put us in India, over a few generations, we start looking like the Hindu people. Without intermarrying, just simply, you see the people change. Why? This is divine. So Jews come in all shapes and sizes. I believe I have a couple of videos about this topic. And I've even showed pictures of Jews from all walks of life. Jews that look exactly like the Hindus, that are idol worshippers, but the righteous Jews look exactly like them. Only difference is, Jews are going to heaven, Hindus are going to Gehenna. Jews that look Chinese, exactly like the Chinese people. Jews are going to heaven, Chinese people are going to Gehenna. Why? One is following God, one is following nonsense. So you see that there is a similarity in complexion and in skin color and complexion and so on, but it's all matters of what the soul does. There's black people that are enemies of the Torah, such as the Hebrew Israelites, and then there's black people that are tzaddikim, kedoshim, teorim. There's actually one guy I just recently found out about. I saw his story. I was so impressed by the story. I want to hug the guy. He's such a sweet neshama. It's a guy that literally grew up as a gangster to the highest degree, ended up going to prison with a 24-year sentence, discovered Judaism in prison, eventually got out of prison after 16 years, converted to Judaism, and you see this guy right now, how he speaks, and the things he says, such a soft, beautiful neshama, righteous convert, and the before picture, scary. Scared just from the picture. You're not even sure if the picture's gonna come and like choke you to death. You're not even sure. But the real life now, tzaddik, cute, like delicious. Well, just such a beautiful, precious neshama. Again, before, after. Before Torah, after Torah. Before Torah, after Torah. I believe his name is Dr. Pryce. Something Pryce. I forget the, Dr. Yehudah Pryce. I saw an interview that they did on him, and he does some good interviews over there that I've seen. I haven't seen obviously everything, but I saw this with Tickle on. I like turnaround stories. I like people that turn around their lives. It's very whether it's my student or not is irrelevant to me. I like people that turn their lives around and become better people. So a story like this was very, very beautiful, so something like that. you literally see the hand of Hashem in that person's life. You see what the before picture is. You see what the before life was. You see, like, literally, he was in Gehenom. His life in this world was Gehenom. And you see is just how he changed physically. A smile on his face. You see the KEDUSHA on a person. And it's not just a person that converted because of some girl, or he converted because of money, or he converted because he's bored. This is a person that converted because he loves the Torah. He wants to follow Hashem. So people like that, Baruch Hashem, I've had the privilege of meeting and being part of the life of many of those types of people that are my students, that I've met over the years, that I've helped them convert. And you see how they change. I love seeing what they were before they converted and what they are after they converted, and you see how they progress. Even, the same thing you see with Baalei TeShuva. I see my students, when I first meet them, they come, all broken, even if they're rich, even if they're poor, if they're male, if they're female, they're young, they're old. When they come, they're broken, they're miserable, they're looking for hope, they feel hopeless, and then they start learning the shurim, they start changing, they start learning Torah, they start protecting their brit, they start becoming modest, they start becoming honest, they start, contributing to KEDUSHA, and you start seeing how their life changes, and they don't even realize it themselves, but literally they start not only changing as a human being, they start changing physically. Physically they start changing their complexion. If you see, for example, me, you see my movie, Hashem Took Back His Millions. Look at the picture of my face before conversion, before I did TeShuva. Before I did TeShuva, just look at the face. Forget about the fact that I gained about 1 million pounds. Forget that. It's a face. You look at that, you look at today, it's a world of difference. World of difference. And this is about everyone that does TeShuva seriously, that makes Hashem their critical part of their life. It's a beautiful thing. You see it in all Baalei TeShuva and all converts. So it's very exciting to see how Hashem proves the words of the Torah in actual life that we can see, proving your point that skin color, complexion, where you came from, irrelevant. What matters? What you do now. What you do now, do you follow Hashem and His Torah, or you follow Nebuchadnezzar and his friends? You follow idol worshippers. Who you follow? You follow Hashem, you will see your life improve. You will see a heaven in this world. Even through the difficulty, you'll see heaven in this world. And certainly you'll see heaven in the world where there's no pain, which is Gan Eden, B'ezrat Hashem.
For me, no, the Orthodox community has like very much embraced me. I haven't had any problems. If anything, right, social media, because I have a social media presence, I get more anti-Semitism thrown at me from that way, from people who aren't Jewish, and from different sort of communities, especially now with everything going on with these scoundrels over there, Hamas and all that. You got different sort of people, a lot of anti-Semitism. My pages, I get so much hate stuff, like every day. I got it. It's on my phone right now, right? So that's where I get it from, but not from Jews. I'm a Torah observant Jew. I've been embraced everywhere I go. So Baruch Hashem.